right, so obviously coming back from last night's game, it was one that hurt. Just like I said last night, it's one that once our guys get in here, see the tape, they'll realize that it was really a tale of two halves, stating the obvious, and that's on both sides of the football, offensively and defensively. So we gotta really have that finish mentality, and we have to understand. We can't talk about it. We got to do it, everybody included. So I think our guys need to understand that close isn't good enough, which they will. They know that, and they understand it's a long season. Nobody wanted this game more than we did, and so it definitely hurts. Like I said last night, it stings. But we need to use this, and we need to go ahead and use this to get better. And if you have the negative, pessimistic approach to it, then that's all wrong. And we're not going to have that. We're not going to have it as coaches. We're not going to have it as players. We're going to learn from it, and that's my job as a head coach to make sure that they learn from it. And trust me, I'll be harder on myself more than anybody. So I've done that. I've looked at the film, all three phases, and I have a much clearer picture now today than I did last night.
What stands out to you about Mitch's game last night?
Leaving last night, I felt like he, getting in and out of the huddle, the things that he saw, the throws that he made, his footwork in the pocket, thought he did a really good job with that. He played the way I knew he could play. He made some plays. Now, we left some out there too, and but that's going to happen. I mean, shoot, there's some plays that their guy, number 12, left out there too, other than the second half. But for the most part, Mitch is going to learn. He's going to keep growing. He understands that. First thing he said to me on the bus is, "How can I get better?" And that's the best part about him and where we're at right now.
What stood out to you about his poise in the pocket, his clock, his willingness to be comfortable standing?
Yeah, he was good. There were some good ones, and then there was a few where I thought his clock was ticking a little too fast. You get the pocket collapse a little bit, and I thought that instead of just sliding and then hitching forward, it was a run. He kind of dashed out of there, and he knows that. So that's gonna be the neat part, I think, as you see this thing go and you see him grow, is he's gonna see those things, and then he's not the guy that'll do that again. He'll learn from that, and then the next time he'll do it, and then he'll make that throw. The one in particular that I think of is the one to Taylor Gabriel to the left, where he threw it up high and a late hit at the end. If you just stay nice and calm in there, and he gets it, he understands that. So we'll keep working those drills and we'll get them right.
And obviously, there's a second and goal play on the second drive where Allen Robinson gets open in the back right corner of the end zone.
Yeah.
As you go back and watch that, what is the correction that needs to be made there? What's the teaching point on that?
Well, he ran a good route. He ran a good route, and I think just as far as with 10, he'll tell you, with Mitchell, he'll tell you, that he needs to make that throw. He'll be hard on himself and just keep it in bounds and let him go make a play. We always talk about, there's never been a putt made in the history of the PGA Tour that's been short. So you got to give him a chance, right? And so he knows that, and you got a guy that's one of the best guys in the league in the red zone, and give him an opportunity, and he'll make a play.
Is there anything mechanically there?
No, he just missed it. Yeah, that's it.
The timing, he kind of hitches on that throw. Is that?
Yeah, that's going to happen on that play, just because of the depending on how the DB plays it, his distance on or off of the receiver.
The first 3rd and 1 in the second half, where it was kind of that pop pass back to Sims.
Yeah,
I mean, what did you see on that play? It seemed like Sims was the only read.
Yeah, he was. It was. And again, there's going to be times, and you go back and forth, and always looking at yourself. What could you have done better? What could you have called better? And there's definitely some in there that you look at yourself. I look at myself and say, hey, should I have done this or should I have done that? But this is stuff that we kind of prepare for all week long, and you get in those situations, and you take a chance now and then. And so hindsight's 20/20. You look back and you say, oh well, you wish you would have ran the ball there, but we didn't. And so that was the play call we went with. And I think every game's going to be a little different than just saying, well, you should have ran the ball. Every game's going to be a little different based off of how the defense is playing in that game.
On the throw back to Sims,
yeah.
It looked like the offense was set and they had 12 men. What does Mitch have the freedom to do right there?
Yeah, so in that situation, you'd love to feel that and see that. There's so much stuff going on. You know, like we can see it from bird's eye view. You know, you can see the guy running off the field, but you know, it's hard when you're at the line of scrimmage and you're trying to get the play right. You're trying to get the cadence. You're looking up at the play clock to make sure you're going to get it off right. And then way over there in the peripheral is a guy running off the field. So it's easy to see when you're bird's eye view. It's not as easy when you're down there on the field. But if he knew that, we'd snap the ball and get the free first down.
Is that easier to see if you're a veteran quarterback?
No, I don't think so. I think it's the same. Now, you might have, you know, just from pure experience, you may feel that or see that, but I don't think it matters. I think just where you're at on the field with the guy getting out of there is something that is, I think it's just going to, I think that not many guys will see that.
Does Mitch have the freedom to change the play at the line?
That's on some plays. On some plays he does. No, not on that one. Nope.
You had several screens in the second half, the third quarter especially.
Yeah.
What did you like? What were you seeing from the Packers there? What do you
Yeah, they played the screens well yesterday. That's a credit to them. I go back personally. We ran 2 screens back to back, and I didn't like those calls. I thought that I told the guys that those were on me. I didn't like those screen calls. You know, you're at a position right there where we like the plays, but the way that Matthews played it, he's a savvy vet, and he played the screen well. And so that was the one that Mitch had the dirt in the ground, and you know, that was not a good play call.
After Jordan's run, they got you the 3rd and short near
Yeah.
the goal line. Were you thinking at all about going for it on 4th too? I know you mentioned last night 6 is better than 3, but I wonder if, considering what's going on the other side, that's the one situation where that might have gone through your mind.
On the 4th and 2?
Yeah.
No, if it was less than 1, then I think you really have to think about it. But we had a play that we really liked, and you know, so I'm fine with that. I get the whole thing of trust me, I'm well aware of Aaron Rodgers and scoring a touchdown and how that can happen. I get that, but I'm also well aware of when you go for it and you don't get it, and then it's a 3-point game. You know, and then a touchdown it can go ahead and put you up more than a field goal. So it's just I feel comfortable with that. I'm not concerned about that.
What did you like about that play with Anthony?
We have a lot going on there. We have some crossers. We had a swing route. We were good with that. So again, I'm going to go to first half and second half. The first half, it was completely different, and it was both quarterbacks in there. The second half, they did some things where they were coming out, and as you guys were asking last night, you know, all the completions. I think he was 16 and 19 in the second half, right? With 1 throwaway, which was an intentional grounding, and a lot of those were quick game and/or scramble. You know, there's the long touchdown that you asked me about last night was a scramble, and you talk about a game of inches. Eddie Jackson's an inch away from tipping that ball. And then that doesn't happen, so it turns into a big gain there for a touchdown, which was obviously huge.
What have you learned about Kyle Fuller where this won't linger with him?
Yeah, well, the one thing with Kyle is he's so mentally strong. That's what I love about him. He pretty much stays the course, and you have to be that way as a corner. They took a shot with the August special to 81 down the sideline, and they made a special throw. Special catch, and Kyle was played that about as well as you could, and you got to give credit to them. You know, I thought it was good defense. I thought it was great offense.
And during training camp, you talked about encouraging Mitch to be aggressive, the ball into some tight spots and so forth. When he got up 20-0 yesterday, did he pull in a little bit? Did he lose some of that?
No, not at all. He's going to go ahead and just play through what we give him, and so when you are up 20-0 and you're running the ball pretty well, you want to be able to continue to keep doing that. And so we had 10 drives yesterday. Of those 10 drives, 5 of them were 8 plays or more. And so one of the things going into this was I said I wanted to have positive plays. I wanted to extend drives, try to keep our defense, give them some rest. We had an 8, a 9, a 10, a 12, and a 14-play drives. That's the good part. The bad part was we struggled in the red zone, so we got to get that fixed. And then the other part of it is that of those 5, 4 of them were 3 and outs. And those 3 and outs you can't have, and that falls down to, that comes back to the 3rd and 1s, the 3rd and 2s. 3rd and 1 we were 0 for 2. 3rd and 2 to 3 we were 4 for 6, and 2 to 3. And then where we were 3rd and 7 plus, we were 1 for 6, 3rd and 7 plus. So we look at that, we understand that. So what are we got to figure out why, and we'll do that. We'll make sure that we put our guys in the best position possible. But you know, we got to, situationally, we got to be better.
Matt, just this being your first game, what do you feel like you learned?
Well, for me, being on in a game like that on a Sunday night against a big rival, I understand that our team. I like the way our team went about the whole week of practice. I thought they came out and they played well in the game. We didn't finish it, and so I'm about to learn and find out where we're at as a staff, where I'm at as a coach, and where they're at as players. And that's the most challenging part, and that's why they bring me in here is for these type of situations. It is not going to be rosy this whole time. It's not, and we're not going to lose our confidence at all. I promise you. From this game, we're going to learn from it. We're going to stick together. It's going to make us stronger, and then hopefully we're all sitting here at the end of the season, and I can say, you know what, we can look back here, we can reflect and say this helped us more than it hurt us.
For you, what about their zone coverage troubled your passing game?
Well, I don't think there was really anything that troubled us. We're at a stage right now in this offense where we're not exactly where we know where all the bones are buried. I've been saying that. And so when you play zone, when you play man, you got to know where everything's at. And so there's going to be times where teams are going to play some zone, and we got to be able to exploit that. You got to be able to run the ball as well. And so game-by-game basis, and then as we prepare for each week, we got to, you know, figure out, are they zone or man team.
You know, in the context of that, where you say, hey, you know, even last night you talked about that opening drive. They saw it, they got confidence.
Yeah.
You obviously decided during the preseason not to put those guys out there, and you deferred to health on that. So are you saying that with the zone and all these types of things that it's just this process that
It is. That's exactly what I'm saying. It is this process. And our guys, you know, with going against our defense in training camp, you know, we play a fair amount of zone. So our guys know it's nothing. It has nothing to do with zone or man. Our guys know how to adjust with that. This is part of the process. As hard as that is for people to understand, this is how it goes. So we need to make sure that we stay positive. I'm not by any means saying that anybody shouldn't be feeling the way they feel. Trust me, we all feel that way. But we can't sit and live in the past. We're not going to be pessimistic. We care about it. It matters to us. But we're not going to be the glass half empty people. We won't do that.
A couple weeks ago, the 25 plays weren't going to make or break the Packer game.
Yeah.
Given how close the game turned out to be, do you still stand by that?
Yeah, I stand by that. That's again, with what we did yesterday, it would have been different if we would have came out and not had any of those extended drives. Or, you know, one of the things that I thought was good with our offense was at one of the most crucial times in the game, in a 4-minute mode, when the defense knows that you're going to be running the ball, really essentially with, what was there, 8 or 9 minutes to go. And we went on I think it was a 12-play drive. And now we ended with a field goal. We need to get a touchdown there and you know, go up by more than just 6 points. But we got crucial third downs in that drive. We extended the drive. And so that's growth for our offense. The start of the game, going right down the field in 14 plays and scoring a touchdown, that's growth. The middle, the 3 and outs, that's not growth. We got to fix those. And so, you know, that's not just the players. That's the coaching staff. That's myself. We do it together.
When you went through the second half yesterday, were there any moments where a call maybe you wanted to put out there you weren't comfortable with, or you didn't feel like the team was ready enough to execute?
No, we would not do that to our guys. Any call that we have on that call sheet, they're gonna know how to execute it. Now, where you can get into sticking points sometimes is where if you have a play called for a certain guy, and for whatever reason he had a long play right before that, or he gets hurt, or he's nicked or something, he comes out, and that communication line of him, you think he's in there the next play, but we'll never put a play on it we don't feel comfortable with. Matter of fact, we'll take a lot out.
What was your assessment of Akeem's game last night, particularly early on?
Yeah, so We challenged him, and I thought he stepped up. You can see he made a couple big plays there. He's a force. Even trying to double team him, it's hard. He splits the double teams, made a couple good tackles, had that nice sack there, that sack fumble at the start. So I like where he's at. Again, I'm going to say this for both sides, though. We can't just do it for 2 quarters. We got to do it for 4, and that's everybody. We got to turn it up, and our guys know that. It wasn't that they weren't trying. It just is the way that it went, and you know, we got to continue to keep it turned up on both sides of the ball.
What do you think of Leonard Floyd's game last night?
So I thought Leonard played well. You know, he rushed the edge pretty well. You know, just nothing. I don't think he. You know, he did what we wanted him to do. I mean, numbers-wise, sack-wise, and all that stuff. But he's flying around there, flying around the edge, and he's a really nice compliment there to the other side of 52.
What did Jordan Howard show you yesterday?
I liked what Jordan did. Jordan he's one of those guys that once he gets the ball, he gets rolling. You know, and you could see that. He ended up with 15 carries. In a perfect world, you'd like to see him get a few more carries. But I thought yesterday Jordan had a good game. The way he ran that ball, he made some nice plays, some cutbacks, had good vision, and did what we asked him.
Injury-wise?
Yeah, we're pretty clean. Yeah, so we're for the most part. You know, we had to deal with 20 with Prince, but everything's okay there, and nothing. We got out of this thing pretty clean.
Nathan, a back?
Yeah, it was a back. All right, guys. Yep, thank you.